be honest, when a woman truly loves you, she doesn't say so openly. Instead, she shows it in very subtle ways. So most men miss her and then spend years wondering what happened. The unsettling truth is that by the time they realize what happened, it's usually too late. You noticed the subtle change, but you ignored it. It wasn't a coincidence. It was a desire that had transformed into an urgency. I want you to agree with me on this for a moment, because a woman's desire doesn't announce itself. It whispers, it entices, and it waits. And if she doesn't know what she's looking at, she'll mistake desire for confusion, attraction for kindness, and opportunity for chance. Here's a truth most men don't realize. When a woman truly loves you, her behavior might seem contradictory, but she's actually incredibly consistent. She'll start to relax her rules. The rules she claims to follow are the same rules she applies to other men and to you too. She doesn't relax these rules because she's weak, but because desire shifts her priorities. Incidentally, she finds time she didn't have before and not in a sudden way. A text message here, a phone call there, a chance encounter that wasn't really a chance encounter. She remembers small details she didn't think were important. The way you spoke once, the tone of your voice when you were tired. Women don't remember men they aren't emotionally attracted to. This is where men feel uneasy. When she truly loves you, she observes you, not threateningly, but subtly. She notices how you react to stress, how you handle silence, and how you deal with people who can't offer you anything. This isn't accidental. Her subconscious mind is asking questions repeatedly. Is it safe to say he's really into you? You can sense her changing emotions before you even notice them. She's excited, then cools down, then excited again. This push and pull isn't infidelity, nor is it emotional vulnerability. She's letting you take a step forward, then step back to see if you'll do the same. And that's where most men fall short. They either break the ice too quickly, or they freeze up and force her to leave for good. When a woman truly loves you, she gives you the opportunity to connect with her, an emotional connection. She'll talk about things she wouldn't easily share, about her frustrations, fears, and personal struggles. This isn't excessive talking. It's an invitation to openness and honesty. If you reject her, ignore her, or try to change her, she will reject you completely. Not with anger, not with silence, and not forever. Understand this well. Attraction is heightened where presence meets dominance. You want to feel like you can embrace her, but you don't have to. This balance is rare, and rarity attracts. Successful men don't raise their voices. They tend to be quiet. They don't rush to reveal their innermost thoughts. They let the tension subside, and they let her curiosity grow. More importantly, they respect this signal rather than being intimidated by it. Because when you initiate this, you're not seeking attention, but rather guidance. When a woman loves you deeply, she doesn't pursue you the way men pursue women. She makes herself available to you. If you don't understand this difference, you'll lose interest in you or unintentionally push her away. One of the most obvious signs is your reaction to your absence. Not dramatically, not desperately, but clearly. You don't disappear simply by being a little distant. You reappear in a different way. A quieter tone of voice, a warmer smile, a gentle attempt to reconnect. This isn't insecurity, it's emotional adjustment. She sees the relationship as effortless and spontaneous. This is something most men overlook. Women don't test men who aren't interested. Testing requires emotional investment. When she asks seemingly meaningless questions, gently challenges your ideas, and humorously challenges your ideas, it's not a struggle. It's a blend of curiosity and admiration. She wants to see your strength, your composure, and your self-confidence. When she truly loves you, she will begin to imitate you. Your phrases will enter her vocabulary. Your sense of humor will become her sense of humor. The pace of your movements, the speed of your reactions, and the duration of your pauses will begin to influence her behavior. This imitation will happen without you even realizing it. Her nervous system is attuned to yours. Pay attention to how you handle your boundaries. The woman you desire will respect them even if you push them slightly. If you tell her you're busy and she responds with understanding, not guilt or pressure, it's a sign of your attraction and respect for her. This combination is rare and powerful. Another sign that men often misunderstand is emotional instability. She might seem moody, interested one day, and cold the next. It's not that she's confused about you, it's that she's afraid of herself. Strong attraction creates a feeling of vulnerability. This feeling feels dangerous, so she'll retreat to regain control. If you react emotionally, you'll only confirm her fears. If you stand your ground, you'll feel secure. When a woman loves you deeply, she'll begin to secretly compete with you. She'll mention other women around you. She'll observe your reactions, not to make you jealous, but to assess your worth based on the opportunities available to you. Women are attracted to men chosen by others, not by themselves. She, too, will begin to seek your approval in subtle ways, not by asking you directly, but by observing your reactions. Did you laugh? Did you notice? Did you care? If she dresses slightly differently in your presence, and if she gladly shares her successes with you, it's not vanity. Desire is a search for validation from a specific source. This is where most men go wrong. When you open up emotionally, they rush to categorize, protect, and end the relationship. But attraction doesn't grow under pressure. It thrives in contrast. She wants to feel your presence without being restricted. She wants power without being suppressed. The person you love won't hesitate, won't chase after you, but will allow you to move forward at your own pace while maintaining your own stance. This commitment will be intoxicating because when you do this, you won't waver. You'll decide. And how you act in those moments will determine whether it lasts or stays forever. When a woman truly loves you, her feelings begin to affect her emotional balance. She may appear calm, but desire can shatter even the most composed mind. This is where the danger lies for men who don't understand the psychological aspect behind it. One of the most prominent signs is the restoration of your self-confidence. It's not arrogance or dominance, but quiet confidence. When you speak confidently, when you agree quickly without hostility, when you take your time to explain your point of view, she understands. And then she notices a change. Her voice softens. Her attention is drawn. She listens more attentively. Attention responds to emotional leadership. When she truly loves you, she's fully present with you. Time passes, and the conversations continue. Don't rush to end the relationship. Even silence can be comforting. It's more important than words. Women don't remain silent in front of men who feel nothing for them. Silence requires trust, and trust is fertile ground for attraction. You'll also notice that her feelings are directed toward you. She asks how you are, not out of mere curiosity or superficial concern, but because she senses changes before you even express your feelings. This emotional openness isn't accidental. Her mind is focused on you as a source of emotional support. Another sign you might overlook is how she handles your mistakes. When a woman desires you, she won't ignore your flaws. She'll be mindful of them. She'll scrutinize your details. She'll work on your shortcomings internally, not in front of others. She won't be blinded by longing. She'll make you a priority. Pay attention to her reactions. When she demonstrates independence, when she chooses her own path, when she doesn't agree immediately, when she takes the initiative, asks questions, or wants to learn more instead of withdrawing, that's attraction, a response to strength. A woman who truly loves you doesn't want to control you. She wants to connect with you. Here's a truth that might be a little unsettling. She might deliberately create emotional tension, delay her responses, suddenly change her tone of voice, or withdraw temporarily. This isn't cruelty. She's testing you to ensure your emotional stability and your ability to handle intimacy. Women fear emotional failure more than they fear isolation. If you fail or become overly angry or seek reassurance, you won't pass the test. But even if she's friendly, she's still being deceived without realizing it. She relaxes, her inhibitions melt away, and her curiosity grows. You'll also notice her curiosity about your past, not out of jealousy, but out of genuine curiosity. She wants to understand the truth about you. What shaped you? What hurt you? What did you learn? This isn't a question to be asked. It's an emotional map, and this is a sign that no one recognizes until it's gone. When someone loves you deeply, they give you choices, they give you space, and they don't hold you back. They want you to move forward because they want you to, not because you're forced to. That's why successful men don't rush things. They let attraction grow. They make her feel secure enough to crave more. They don't waste time. They make the most of it. Because when a woman reaches this stage, she doesn't start flirting. She gives you the opportunity to enter her inner world. Whether you enter confidently or with a lack of trust, she's the one who decides everything. When a woman truly desires you, the biggest difference isn't what she says, but what she expects. Desire always involves risk, emotional, social, and sometimes even selfish risk. When you learn to understand her, you'll realize she's crossed a line she swore she'd never cross. The way she displays her insecurity is a powerful signal. A strong woman rarely shows her confusion, she usually projects confidence. But when she loves you deeply, she will reveal moments of hesitation, emotional turmoil, and vulnerability. Not because she is weak, but because she trusts you and will not take advantage of you. This kind of trust is rare and not easily given. If you don't reassure her immediately, observe her reaction. If she remains open, receptive, and warm, she prefers vulnerability to control. Most women protect themselves with solitude, so remaining open is a conscious emotional risk. Another subtle sign is that she's beginning to integrate with her spiritual future, not through a declared plan, but through expression. You'll like this point. This reminds me of something. We should try this someday. These aren't plans, just expectations. Her mind is testing how compatible you are with her before she becomes emotionally charged. When a woman truly loves you, she'll begin to let go of her emotional baggage related to intimacy. And that doesn't necessarily mean physical touch. Sometimes it's about closeness, sitting near, leaning her body towards you, and holding eye contact for a second longer than necessary. These small gestures convey a mixture of comfort and desire. The body speaks before the words. Here's a crucial truth most men overlook. Women aren't afraid of rejection. They're afraid of regret. When she starts showing these signs, she's asking herself, if I don't act, will I lose him, her? This internal pressure will change her behavior. She'll become more expressive, more present, and more emotional. You might notice she'll start sharing her thoughts about you more freely, and she won't agree without apology. She's testing you with a game. It's not just a test, it's a commitment. Indifference is silent, but desire is loud. Another important sign is your reaction to vulnerability. When you open up, even slightly, and then withdraw instead of retreating, it's a sign of deep attraction. Women who truly love you don't demand perfection. They crave a combination of authenticity and strength. They want to feel chosen by a real man, not be surprised by fleeting success. Pay attention to her reaction when you talk about your goals, your work, your ambitions. If her eyes light up, if she asks probing questions, if she recalls details later, it's not politeness, it's compromise. Desire thrives where there is guidance, and this is where men often lose themselves. They feel impulsive, striving to prove themselves, labels, expectations, pressures. But desire shouldn't be rushed. It should be respected. When her desire is calm, you show her abundance and contentment. You signal that you won't abandon her desire. She deserves it. The man who wins at this stage understands something important. She doesn't want you to be submissive. She wants you to feel secure enough to surrender emotionally. Because when a woman starts doing these things, she's already halfway there. The only thing you can see now is whether you have the emotional strength to win her heart or if she'll have to come back on her own. When a woman truly loves you, the final shift is the most terrifying. It's the moment her passion ceases to be a mere infatuation and begins to transform into a serious relationship. You can feel it in the weight of her presence. Things become slow, profound, and deliberate. At this stage, any misstep by the man could lead to weeks or months of silent attraction. At this stage, she begins to notice your emotional discipline, not your words, your looks, or your self-control. She focuses on how you project power, because charisma gives you power, and women are naturally drawn to those who give them that power. She'll notice that she's become more emotionally expressive and may even admit to feeling confused. She might be expressing her fear of entering a relationship. This isn't a warning, nor is it a confession. She's telling you that her feelings are no longer random. Men who mock her, ignore her, or try to reassure her are misunderstanding her. She's not looking for salvation, but for understanding. Another clear sign is how she responds to your persistence. When you act the same way, regardless of her feelings, she'll feel at ease. Calmness is attractive. A woman who truly desires you seeks a solid emotional foundation where she feels secure. You might notice she starts asking for your opinion more often, not because she feels insecure, but because your opinion has become important to her. She appreciates your worldview, and there's a deeper level of attraction that goes beyond physical desire. It's respect intertwined with emotion. At this level, she becomes more protective of the relationship. She avoids unnecessary problems and distractions. She gives you space, not just temporal space, but emotional space as well. Women don't reveal their secrets to men they don't deeply care for. This is something most men fail to understand. When a woman desires you intensely, she begins to lose you, not because of insecurity, but because of attachment. That's why she asks you precise questions about your values, loyalty, and boundaries. She's not seeking future pain, but pleasure in the present. Observe how she handles disagreements now. If she prefers calm dialogue to emotional reactions, that's crucial. Emotional maturity is rare in the midst of passion. This means she's paying enough attention to protecting what's growing rather than destroying it. Perhaps she's quietly testing your leadership here, not your control, but your guidance. Can you remain calm when emotions arise? Can you listen without breaking down? Can you stand your ground without trying to dominate? These answers are more important than looks or money. This is the mistake that ends everything. Men realize how close they are to her and suddenly try to sever their emotional connection. They crave security, insist on guarantees, and transform attraction into commitment. Longing dies when it becomes a trap. The successful man here does the opposite of what his emotions dictate. He stays with her without revealing his true feelings. He lets her emotions flow freely. He drives calmly and confidently without rushing. Because when a woman reaches this point, no one decides whether she loves him or not. She decides whether it's safe to trust you in her heart. And this decision isn't based on what she says, but on how steadfast you are when everything is at stake. When a woman desires you, here's the bottom line. She's driven by her emotions. She's slowing down to see if you can reach her without breaking her heart. It's time to either make that desire a reality or ignore it and move on. At that point, she'll stop giving any obvious signals. It's not that her desire has diminished, but rather that she's protecting herself. She's no longer trying to be attractive. She's testing his character. She's asking a subtle question. Can this person bear the weight of such deep desire? You'll notice that she's become more selective with her energy. She doesn't offer many explanations. She doesn't seek clarity. She observes. Silence is her weapon. If you're taken aback by the silence, you'll notice. If you rush to fill the void by validating your feelings, seeking answers, or engaging in emotional pressure, you'll feel insecure. But if you're supportive, warm, calm, and present, you'll breathe a sigh of relief. When a woman truly desires you, she wants you to be chosen, not obsessed with her, desired, or dependent on her. That's why you're observing how you handle your fears. Masculinity isn't about control. It's about emotional control. It's about being able to focus when things matter. You might notice a strange shift in how you treat yourself, treating yourself with respect instead of love. This confuses men who might think the attraction is fading, but it isn't. Respect is something you offer in return for submission. Unrespectable desire is fleeting, while respectable desire is dangerous at best. At this point, she'll stop competing for your attention and accept its price. If she doesn't get it now, she won't fight for you, not because she doesn't care, but because she values her self-respect over her desires. Women don't pray to God to give them men they admire intensely. They leave in silence. That's what hurts. Many men don't realize their true love for her until she's gone. When the flame of love dies, when the letters stop, when the door closes without resistance, her longing didn't die. She chose herself after giving you all the signs she could without betraying her honor. The successful person understands this fundamental principle. They don't chase after desires, nor do they fear them. Rather, they find them through calm guidance. They speak clearly, act purposefully, and don't resort to tricks. But they don't cultivate an overconfidence like someone who doubts their worth, and they aren't aggressive in their pursuit of progress at this level. It makes sense. I see you in your actions. I respect what you have to offer, and I have the strength to hold on to you. Her hesitation then fades. Not because you pressured her, but because you led her. Female psychology isn't about manipulation. It's about security, diplomacy, and emotional intelligence. When a woman truly desires you, she invites you into her inner world. This invitation is weak. So here's a question I want you to answer honestly and write it in the comments below. When a woman shows interest, do you respond with confidence or fear? If this video makes you look at past situations differently, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a friend who needs to hear this before it's too late.